Welcome to the Bison Brothers Basketball Podcast, your number one home for all things Bison basketball. My name is Chip Washington, your self-appointed Bison basketball fanatic.
What's up, Bison Nation? It's your boy, Brian B. Smooth, boasting still the lover of all things Howard and the lover of all things basketball. Looking forward to another great show.
What's up? This is E-Wash, man. Doing it for the culture. I'm on CP time today. I got BET technical difficulties. But I mean,
this guy. You always get us in the mood, man. I don't know why you're dissing our network like that. It's not even owned by black people anymore. So it all starts on time. It just runs late. That's all. Good to see you, good brother. Good to see you, man. Fellas, everybody been good this week?
Oh yeah.
Very good. Real good. So, happy to talk about, with a little bit we'll talk about just the ladies going to Portugal a little bit, but we won't get a lot into that since we got a special guest coming today, but was excited to see them in Portugal.
But what you can say is that one of our subscribers and a friend of the show, Roy Verrett, Sovereign Path, right? He actually did us a solid since we couldn't make the trip to Lisbon. He actually ran over and greeted the young ladies and filmed a few clips for us to share live when they were there. So when we get back in our new season, we'll be showing some of those clips. But thank you, Rory, for being a good brother to the show.
No doubt. And before, of course, when we get deep into the show, Bison Nation, you know why we're here. You know we're here to tell you to continue in the off season, during the season, whenever. Continue to support these championship teams. Support the Dream Factory. Support that championship culture, Mecca mentality, the dog mentality. And you can do that. You can support in so many different ways. You can give to the NIL Collective, the Mecca Society. You can do that by going to the meccasociety.org. You can also donate to the athletic department at hubison.com and give through the Bison Express Booster Club. And as you know from watching a few shows ago, we now have a partnership with FanStake. And you can go to fanstake.com, use the code MECCA25. That'll give $25 as soon as you sign up. You giving $25 to the team or whoever you want to stake with. So watch that episode to learn some more and go to fanstake.com with yet another way that you can give and support these teams. And as always, please continue to tell everybody about this podcast. You can hear us just about anywhere. You can hear us on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple, and you can interact with us on Instagram at Bison Brothers Basketball. So continue to do that. Continue to tell everybody about the podcast. Hey, a shout out to the Howard women's team on Twitter. Yeah. They told everybody, subscribe to the Bison Brothers Basketball Podcast. So shout out to the women's team for that head nod, and we appreciate that. And we're going to get into this show today.
Yeah, before we bring on our guest, and I'm excited. Our guest is extremely knowledgeable, and as we had the pre-production show, extremely funny. I didn't know how funny she was. My side hurts from laughing with her and hopefully not being laughed at by her. But we'll see how that goes when she gets on the stage here. Just remember, we are in the midst of a bit of a campaign. We're trying to, in the subscriptions, make sure that we're connecting all of Bison Nation. That's why we started this podcast almost a year ago. We're coming up on our first anniversary. Shout out to Bison Brothers Vision. November is our month to celebrate. And as we get closer to that, we'll be looking to see if we can get our first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube to be part of that mix so we can continue to build Bison Nation. We're about a quarter of the way there now. We've been seeing some folks take advantage of the summer shows. They've been coming on and, watching a lot of the funny shorts. Ewash is the source of podcast gold. Every time we post him, you all love him. So we hope that you all continue to support the podcast. Again, this is our ability to tell the stories that we want to make sure people get to hear. We were waiting for people to tell them. We said, why not us? So that's why you got Bison Brothers basketball. So Chip, why don't we get into the show tonight, man?
All right. Well, and before we get into the show, I just want to give a quick shout out again to the Howard women's team. They just finished a trip to Portland, and they went 3-0. And we're not gonna recap anything too much, just give a little tease, because we'll spend another show and actually talking about it, but we figure we'd give you just a little bit of taste of the ladies in Portugal. And like I said, it's early on in the season. We can't glean too much, but it was exciting to get just a little glimpse of the women's team. They played 3 games. The first game was a nail biter, but they won all 3 games, so we're pretty proud of that. So we just wanted to give them a shout out. They should be traveling back right now, and we just want to seeing more and more. So just wanted to give them a little shout out. And like I said, we'll do another show where we'll kind of recap what happened during that game.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Ty Grace. Shout out to Ty Grace in the program.
Yeah.
Indeed. And so as for today's show, now I don't know if y'all been getting it, but fans have been on my neck. Chip, when y'all gonna get somebody that can tell us about NIL? We are fans of Howard basketball, but we don't know that much about NIL. So we found the one who is going to tell us and educate us what we need to know. So it is my pleasure to introduce Bison Nation. It's a special treat today. So we're going to be talking everything name, image, and likeness. And we brought in the ultimate playmaker in the NIL game. Joining us is the one and only Ivory Tabb, a powerhouse in NIL education and sports marketing. Ivory's undergrad and master's degree hailed from Louisiana State University, where she was not only a member of the national champion women's track and field team, but it's where she began helping athletes with building their brands and preparing for life on and off the field. Transitioning to working at Southern University, the SWAC, to play an inaugural part in launching an academic advising program for student athletes while honing her get-it-done attitude as the assistant women's basketball coach, winning a SWAC championship, and helping to take the team to the NCAA women's tournament along the way. She is the vice president of brands and talent at Players Media Group, and with over 20 years of experience negotiating million-dollar contracts, managing Fortune 500 brands, and guiding top-tier talent, she's the ultimate NIL playmaker. From mentoring through her signature sessions like the 3 Ps of NIL, preparing, planning, and prepping, to crafting athlete storytelling through branding life and the magic of storytelling, she is turning potential into power for student athletes and their support teams. So whether you're a high school athlete, a college coach, a parent navigating NIL contracts, or just a Bison fan hungry for the behind the scenes of the business game, Ivory's got the blueprint. She is more than an agent. She is a relationship builder, a story shaper, and a movement making strategist. So let's get ready, Bison Nation, to up our NIL IQ. From someone who's been shaping the NIL game since before it had a name. And of course, as a member of the D9, I want to mention that she is a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So everything she is about to say is a serious matter.
Oh, so, nice. Well done.
Chip.
So without further ado, let's bring Miss Ivory Tabb on in our Bison style. Please give it up.
Let me tell you, I'm going to Chip. Introduce me. I'm just pay Chip to go around.
Hey, Chip. Yes. Pay him.
Like he said, I'm a sports marketing agent by day. And at
Yeah.
night, I actually go around the country and teach parents, students, coaches how to do NIL. I am an avid HBCU supporter. For me, this is where you can attempt to become equal footing. The culture, what you own in your reputation, and how you guys treat your students is something that definitely can draw potential athletes there. As soon as we get our alumni to stop thinking that we're going to donate to the church's building fund, and let's donate to the church's. Why did you laugh? Donate to the churches.
I just
I love the black explanation. That was just a great black explanation.
It is. It is. It is the biggest thing.
First BET, now this.
Yeah, no, because the biggest thing that I tell schools, the biggest, especially small schools and especially HBCUs, you're not using your resources on campus. You're not. There is so much potential that is right there on campus that is not tapped. And I feel like that's where a lot of the HBCUs go wrong. When you hear me talk, I say schools are in two places. You're either a school that is a sport of business or a business of sport. When you are a business of sports school, that means you will do anything. Lie, steal, cheat, still a baby to win a championship. That's what the big four is. No doubt about it. And even in there's rankings on who's going to do the most. What's at LSU, we going to do the most. And it is what it is. At a lot of our HBCUs and our smaller schools, we weren't founded on athletics. We're founded on academics. So the way we look at it is totally different. So the question is, who's going to step forward and say, listen, we want to do both, and we want to do both at a high level. So this is how we need to attempt to do it. And NIL is definitely a way to attempt to do it.
Love that. So Ivory, thank you for coming on the show. That was a great opening. Chips available for a certain fee.
Yes. I'm going to give Chips an NIL deal.
You got to get him an NIL. He needs one. He needs one. He needs to be able to represent all the time. So before we dive in, I just want to make sure we could get a little bit more about your background. I know Chip did a great job introducing kind of where you are and what you do now, but how did you get started in this space? So actually, I'm from New Jersey. So,
go Birds. Because we did win the Super Bowl, and we're going to win another one. I'm convinced on that.
So that's South Jersey. Then you're talking South Jersey.
Total South Jersey.
Okay.
What happened was actually I've been doing sports marketing and branding for 25 years. My first client was actually Marcus Spears. He was one of my students at LSU, and he was one of my students. I had him when he was a freshman. His sophomore, junior years, that's when I was actually over at Southern working. And after he got drafted, he was like, it's time to go. And I'm like, go where? And it just happened to be to the Cowboys. So I've been doing branding and marketing for forever. As soon as I got out, when I got to Dallas, there was actually 4 other players that were on the Cowboys that I had. And also Brandon Bass was on the Mavericks. So it was just like, we right back in school. Who needs Ivory to do X, Y, Z? And that's how it started. When NIL came along, my brother actually had the #1 hurdler in the country. Part of high schools, my brother's name is Coach Clinton Tabb. He coaches at Pennsauken High School. He coaches football and track. And that's the high school we went to. Part of the NIL rules in high school. And as of right now, there are 42 states where you're allowed to do NIL in high school.
Wow.
The part of the biggest rules with high school is no one at the school is allowed to help you. So my brother was like, my sister does this every day. I don't need any help. And here we are. So I just started learning all the rules. And to me, it was just a smaller version of what I was doing every day. But the biggest difference was me teaching kids how to actually market and brand themselves to not only have your personal brand actually reflect who you are to get NIL deals, but to then switch over to a business brand so that you can get a job. And that's the ultimate goal for me. You're not going to make the league, let's be honest. That 1%, that's the 1%, is the 1%. Now, you others, we can definitely make a lot of money, but then we also need to be prepared that when this ride ends, to be able to get a job. The same recruiters who are looking at you to go to school are the same recruiters who are looking at you, a different set of recruiters, we'll say, are looking at you to get a job.
Yeah.
So that's how it started.
That's awesome.
It's one of those things that it's a thing. I always, I go, like I said, I go around the country and I talk about two things: NIL education, and so you want to be a sports agent. And one of the things that I say you want to be a sports agent is, what value do you bring to an athlete right now? So when we started, my first thing was the school isn't using their resources. I was just on Howard's campus last week. I do a lot, actually. My team of choice on Howard's campus is the swimming team.
Yeah.
Yes. So I do a lot of work with the swimming team. Shout out to Coach Nick and Coach Merriam.
Yep.
Coach Merriam has a group called Diversity in Aquatics. And what Diversity in Aquatics does is we go around the country, we teach Black and brown kids how to swim. And we all know that Howard is the only HBCU left that still has a swim team. So we give and raise money to give other HBCUs money to become a club team, to now be able to turn into a team that's on a registered team on campus. So when I say, not only is it a pleasure to be here, but I kind of know the inner workings of Howard and athletics and how the teams pull, especially non-football, track for sure. Like I said, swimming and basketball. I'm getting some pieces of basketball as well. And what's so interesting is there are several things on campus that I'm like, y'all have that make NIL so easy. First of all, y'all have a law school.
We do.
Exactly. Kids need contracts read. The law school should have a partnership with the athletic department that gets those contracts read every time something comes through. Especially now, since the House settlement passed, you have to put every contract through what is called NIL Go. And NIL Go is ran by Deloitte. And it is a system that authenticates the deal to make sure it's a fair market value and it's not pay for play. And you're actually a student athlete doing something to get this money and not just going to the school. So the contracts need to be read. The contracts need to be outlined. The contracts need to make sure that they have a crux of something: signing autographs, coaching, putting on a camp, doing a clinic, the biggest one, making a social media piece. And this is now in exchange for not only money, but goods and services. So the law school should be like, yes, a 2L or a 3L should want to read that contract to not only, to start getting practice reps in, especially if you want to work in sports.
Yeah.
That's your B school and the C school. That should be a connection that is easily done because you want to work in sports. So for the next 3 years, you need to practice working in sports. Because remember, you don't have to technically be a lawyer. You don't have to technically be registered to be an NIL agent. But you want to see if you want to work in sports. Y'all have how many teams on campus? What is it, 16 or 17 of the sports?
Yeah.
Yes,
17 is the number.
17. So you see what I'm saying? So there are 17 teams that you in the business school, you in the School of Communication can actually work with and start building your list of clientele to do NIL and work with NIL. And it's right there on campus. And that should be a partnership that the athletic department and the B school put together. That's easy. And that should be something that when we're coming to campus and we're recruiting, that we're talking about. Because let's be honest, we don't have enough money to have a me sit on campus every day. We don't have enough money to bring the Mecca in-house. We don't have enough money to make an NIL program that sits in the athletic department. But what you do have is when you have so many kids coming on campus to recruit, so many student athletes coming on campus for unofficial visits and official visits, what you could have set up is this partnership that when the kids are coming and we're talking about NIL and what it looks like, there's actually someone there to say, this is what we're doing, compared to if you go to another school in the MEAC that doesn't even have a conversation about NIL. At least now when it's time to decide, the kid's like, wait, at least they talked about it. At least they thought about it. And that's an easy fit. That's one of the easiest things that you can do.
Wow. See,
Well,
that was just one trip to Howard. I can't wait for our next trip.
Like I said, I'll actually be back. I'll actually be on campus for Battle of the Borough, because yes, Howard versus Georgetown. I'll come in, and guess what? Coach Nick is bringing me in to talk to the parents. Let me show you, because that's going to be the biggest weekend that he has recruits on campus. And that's technically what you're supposed to do. Football should be like, hey, when we have homecoming, you should come. And we want you to talk to our parents and talk to the students. Because what's so interesting, especially about the MEAC for football, you only have 6. For basketball, it's 8, correct?
That's right.
Every school opted in except, and when we say opted in, you had to actually opt in to get the benefits of house settlement, and all the schools had to opt in by July 6th, and every school in the conference opted in except one. Are we taking a guess on who did not opt in?
It feels like a setup.
It's not.
South Carolina State.
Norfolk State.
Now you think Mike Vick ain't getting in?
I was hoping they didn't.
Yeah, right.
Shout out to the evil empire. It's got to be Howard.
No, y'all are in.
Nah, yeah,
y'all are
in. University of Maryland Eastern Shore.
No, Central did not opt in.
Dang, what?
Exactly.
That is incredible.
And when we're talking basketball, don't they have a historic coach? Like, don't they have a coach that's been there for a minute? Yeah.
Moten. Yeah, he's been there forever.
And guess what? The biggest thing about opting in, so the overarching rule of rev share is you have up to $20.5 million that you can spend on actually paying students to come to the school. And that is on the side of NIL. So that has nothing to do with NIL. That is money that's coming from the media rights, jersey sales, tickets, rev share. That's what it looks like. But you don't have to pay the kids. But what you do get when you opt into house is more roster limits, roster spots. So men's basketball went from 13 to 15. So that means technically you could offer everybody on the team a scholarship, and that's something that you can offer. Now, the downside is you can't have any walk-ons, but there's ways around that. You can't have any preferred walk-ons, but there's ways around that. But now you have 2 more spots that you can actually fill, that you can give partial or fulls to, and basically everyone on the team is starting at the same level. And so for folks not to opt in, and I can see why you wouldn't opt in, but as we were talking earlier, NIL and this rev share piece should be the total game changer, because of all the money, most schools, 90% of their money is going to go to men's basketball and football.
Yeah.
The other 10% is going to be a fight to death. But I mean, it is a fight. It is. But if we even look at it as, if you gave somebody on the track and field team $1,000 every semester, that's $1,000 that they didn't have.
Right.
So that's one thing that I'm like, it's very interesting that they didn't opt in, but I can't wait to see what the rest of the conference does, and if that actually makes a difference on what their sports look like for this year.
Okay.
So Ivory, I gotta ask, because you're dropping some knowledge on us. That's why we're all sitting there like,
right.
So we didn't introduce ourselves as well as maybe we should. We are fanatics, but we are also, I think we have a lawyer on the call with Chip. We have a dentist on the call with EWASH, and I'm a healthcare executive. So we go up through the STEM program. So our dreams of going pro were in the fields we're in, not sports. Right. And so I would like to make sure, at least for our listeners, because I know Chip has been trying to make sure that we get this topic really understood. So you're coming at it from an angle of, here's how it makes sense on campus and the conference. I would like to understand it from the player perspective, because you have some insight on. So how does that look, and what are some of the things that you can share with us around how to look at it if you're a player that's trying to think about NIL?
So if you are a player that's trying to think about NIL, the very first thing that you should be looking at is what your social media looks like.
Mm.
And that is the biggest thing. And when I say the biggest thing, do you know what the hardest thing that I have to get students to do when it comes to their profile and what it and how it should read?
I don't.
Put their government name on it.
Oh man. So E-Wash and Be Smooth wouldn't work. We got to put our full name on it.
I want your full government name. Because guess what? Most schools, and like I said, when I say most schools in this
I don't know, you over there trying to be like Vlad.
When I say most
trying to get us to snitch.
Ivory, I told you I was trying to make sure he was on his best behavior. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. He's a dentist. He's a dentist. Y'all gonna be like, did Ivory see why are her teeth so white? Because I was like, oh, I know I don't have any cavities, but for this, we just gonna give me whatever. So
okay, back to the program.
No, when I say schools, I'm talking about, for this conversation, let's talk about HBCUs. I will bring in what the Powers is doing, because what the Powers are doing is it's like apples to oranges. It's fruit, but it's different. But you can learn from what they're doing to trickle down it to get it bite-sized pieces for what we can do. So what the biggest thing is most schools do not have their name on the back of their jersey. So if you don't have the name on the back of your jersey, I need your name, what school you go to, Howard, what class you're in, what position you play, and what number you wear. Because the biggest thing that brands say, and brands are the corporations, the groups, the companies that do NIL deals. What their biggest thing is, they can't get in touch with our athletes. And they can't get in touch because, number one, they can't find them. Number two, when they DM them or they do find them, they don't write back. And number three, last but not least, they aren't promoting themselves and using all the tools on campus to make sure it works. And that's so simple. So simple. And what students have to understand is NIL is an exchange of goods, services, and money. When we think of how much an NIL post, so right now, let's take a guess on how much a student that's, we ain't talking Angel Reese, we're coming right here. How much do you think it's worth for a post? How much companies are paying for a post? What's the average price?
I would say $2,000.
$75. Exactly. Okay. So if you get $100 for a post, you're winning.
You're
winning. When you guys said earlier, we're trying to get 1,000 people to follow us on YouTube.
That's right.
My first thought was, hey, what you need, do you have the men's and basketball team? Are all of them following you? The men's and women's basketball team? Give them an NIL deal. And the NIL deal is, you're going to post about us. We're going to feature you on our program. And the exchange is going to be, number one, because we featured you on our program. Number two, we will give you bite-sized pieces that you can post on your page that are already edited and already ready to go, with you talking about not only basketball, but other things that you're interested in, so other folks can see what you like and how to get a deal. And that's an exchange of goods and services, because you want them to post about, hey, the Bison Bros support us. We support them. Here is a post on why you should listen to their podcast featuring XYZ. See how easy that is? And that's an NIL deal.
Oh my God. God bless you, first of all. God bless you.
I mean,
No,
and like,
in all seriousness, let me tell you why. Because you said business twice in that great analogy. And not only am I a dentist, I'm an entrepreneur in every sense of the word. Right?
yes.
And as I listened to you, I thought to myself, it is so hard to get people who aren't entrepreneurs to have a vision on getting past so-called obstacles. It's mind-boggling,
Yes.
And I was like, wow, she really gets it, And because I thought to myself, well, how would you talk to somebody at Howard? Who would be the conduit? How can you get them past this threshold? But they don't think like, and that's not just isolated to them, but because some of the questions I have here, even though there's kind of social questions, I
Yes.
would love to hear what you thought about why Dion left.
Oh, easy.
What could they have done to make him stay?
They should have mortgaged the school and gave him some more money.
Mm-hmm. And do you think he would have stayed?
Yes, I think he would have given them at least one more year. But here's the thing: the timing was difficult for Dion, and I know Dion very well. How I started in this business, I worked for a huge company called the Marketing Arm, and we actually helped launch AT&T's back in the day when they first started giving out UVerse, and that was like the optical, the fiber optic to get on the internet. Me and Dion went to 30 different. We were on the road with each other for a year. We went to 25 different athletes' house to give them UVerse. We helped launch the iPhone, all the things. Dion was the host, and we made kind of like this little cribs video. Dion is the one who, if I say, who can you credit with learning how to deal with athletes at this level, it's Dion.
Wow.
Dion taught me how to deal with a superstar, literally, because he is that 1,000 ways. And folks don't like when I say this, but Dion has done more for HBCUs in the last 10 years.
Totally agree.
Than anybody.
Totally agree.
Only reason why
I
put 10 years on it is because the things that Eddie Robinson and all our forebears did ahead of time, we can't touch that. But in the modern era, what Dion did, and folks who go to HBCUs argue with me about this all the time, and they're like, he only did stuff for Jackson. I'm like, he didn't. Everyone else just didn't take advantage of the Dion magic, and that is because
teach.
No one had the vision. Like, for example, one good example. I live in Atlanta. The program that I was talking about with Howard, the Diversity in Aquatics, we are the community relations partner of the Celebration Bowl. So we go to schools, we talk about water safety, we bring Olympians in. On Friday night, we do a water safety free event for kids in the pool and have a developmental meet. Then Saturday morning, we have a HBCU alumni and Greek fraternity meet. And once we got to once we got to Morehouse, that was the first time in 20 years Morehouse had ever had a swim meet at their pool. So the very first year that we started this was when Dion played South Carolina State in the Celebration.
Celebration Bowl. Yeah, I remember that.
Dion, they lost. Jackson State lost. South Carolina State should have used using Dion's name, using Jackson State's name on everything for the season going forward. You get what I'm saying? So that is the proximity of how you use NIL. Oh, I could have thought of 10,000 ways that they could have used that to convince a kid to come to South Carolina State. Instead, look, they could have did, because y'all all are old. I'm not old, but y'all are. So they could have did.
Shots fired.
My bad. But remember when Suge Knight got on stage? It was like, you want somebody to be all in your videos?
I remember Suge.
Remember, you want the shiny suit man to jump out? You know what South Carolina State could have did? Oh, you want to go to Jackson State and do XYZ, but if you want to win, you could.
That's right. That's right.
And that is what NIL affords you to do.
She got the black explanation for everything.
Because when I'm talking to us, I actually wasn't talking to anybody, but when I'm definitely talking to students, when I'm talking to parents and administrators, I talk at this level right here because I want you to understand very clearly how you can use this to your advantage.
Okay.
And
So
go ahead.
Miss Ivory, because you're using all these good references. Now I got to go watch some movies that I hadn't seen in a while.
No, you just gotta watch the Source Awards.
No, I
Right
can't do
there.
it. I don't know. I don't know anybody on the Source Awards anymore, so I'll have to look that up. I have to look up all the artists now. So when you're mentoring young professionals, people who are trying to get into this part of the business, what's a question you wish they asked you about? Like, I know sometimes they're trying to figure out a break in, but what do you think? What would be a question that they should ask that maybe they don't?
The first question you should ask is, how do you add value? Because that's it. Athletes have so many people coming at them. What can you do to add value to an athlete's life? And if you want to work in sports, it's going to be a low-paying job coming out the gate. You're going to be doing a lot of things for free. And last but not least, are you volunteering? That is a big, big portion of this. For example, if a kid wanted to work in media, if a kid wanted to work in social, if a kid wanted to work in digital, they could easily say to you, hey guys, I know you have your podcast. I would love to come in and be your editor. I would love to come in and show you how to post differently on your social media. I would love to make sure you have a TikTok. I would love to make sure that your Twitter handles are moving the way that they need to be moved. And that's one thing when I keep on always going back to schools not using their resources. Prairie View has a digital media degree.
They do.
Every team on Prairie View social media should be glowing and great because a student in the Department of Digital Media should be working with a team on how this looks, because that is the biggest, and I keep saying this over and over again with this NIL stuff. That's the biggest thing that brands say is they cannot reach the kids. So if I can't find you on your social, what's the very next thing I'm going to do? Go to your coach. If I can't find your coach because you don't even have an Instagram page that's updated, I'm spinning my wheels. Right. And that's one thing that you guys do well. Because you are the Mecca, because you are a brand, folks get so mad when Howard, Spelman, Morehouse, sometimes FAMU get all the money from people. And y'all get all the money because y'all are prepared. If I wanted to give y'all $1 million right now, I could go to the foundation and give y'all $1 million. If I wanted to give $1 million to some of these other schools, they're like, whoa, we don't even know, but we'll take it. But I don't know how it's going to officially get to us because they're not set up, because they're not prepared. And so that's what NIL is being prepared. The thing that I would tell you guys, if you are working with the Mecca, if you're trying to raise money, go to the alumni center. We know who all the jobs are. We know who works where. We know who has money.
That's true.
If I'm a student and I need my teeth fixed, I'm going to Mr. White because he's a dentist. And sir, I know you can't possibly maybe not give me free braces, but here's the plan of how I'm going to post every time I see you. And you're not braces because that's orthodontist, but you know what I mean.
Let me stop you right there. I'm Invisalign, so.
Perfect. We'll definitely talk when we get out of this. I'm gonna do
this show. We're gonna make this work.
Take it. I do Invisalign. So now I'm going to give a player on men's or women's basketball team their trays for free. Remember, most kids are still under their people's insurance, so that we can deal with that. But every week and every time I switch out a tray, I'm going to show my journey of going from this to this. In every post, I'm going to tag your dentistry office, because that is how I'm not only repaying you, but telling other students, athletes, parents, if you want great dentistry, go here. Wow. That's NIL. Alumni Center is going to give you everybody who has so many businesses, everybody who, that whole, we are the Mecca. Y'all know how y'all get.
We do. We still do. Yeah.
So get it. You get what I'm saying? Get it.
I do.
Like, I can see if I was talking to, and I ain't gonna bash nobody, but
that's okay. Let me know. I'll bash them if you need me to.
I could see if I was talking to Mississippi Valley.
Shout out to Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice.
I love you, Miss Ivory. But be smooth is already making a lot of enemies in the conference.
It's okay. Line them up. Line them up.
I say that to say, based on where they are, their location, like you said, the type of alumni that they have coming out of there, it's not a prominent HBCU. But you guys, when we go prominent, it's y'all. Spelman, Morehouse. So now y'all need to pull the alumni out, especially young alumni. That's the thing that I feel like y'all need to tap. 25 to 40.
Yeah, tell us more about that. I know Chip has been trying to figure out how to crack that code because as we're a little bit older than the 25 to 40 crowd, and because we came through school when it wasn't necessarily a highlight to play sports completely.
Yes.
There's this riff of not believing that we're a championship quality team now because no one ever saw it when they were in school. So talk to us about attracting that 25 to 40 range. What are you thinking there?
You just said it. The age difference, they know 25 to 40 understands very much so. If you want to win, you have to pay.
Okay.
There's we don't have to explain that anymore. They know NIL. They see NIL. Like you said, they may not know what or how it works, but they understand that before you couldn't get paid, now you can.
Right.
So that demographic has money and uses their money for disposable things. Hair, makeup, shoes, traveling, the whole shebang. So if you could get a large amount of people to donate a small amount, those small amounts, as we know, add up. And so it's one of those things that if you're like, hey, donate $50 a year, a semester, $100, and you get all those ages to do it, then now you have your bank built up and it's going to go to and attract different things. And the different things that the collectives are doing around the country, especially at the big school, are experiences. So like, for example, at UCLA, let them tell it. Everyone wants to play on that wooden court. And I get it. I could see folks really who basketball, want to see that court, want to be on that court. If you're just a fan, the likelihood of you actually having the opportunity to be on said court doesn't really happen. So they're like, oh, if you donate, let's make up a fictional amount. If you donate $5,000 to NIL, you have the opportunity to host a meeting in the arena. You have an opportunity to have a field day, that's what I call it, with the team and play one-on-one, your old head versus the teams, versus the alumni. So you see what I'm saying? Folks,
I love that.
Exactly. And that's an easy one. Like these are free things that because it's basically a sponsorship. You're getting other young people to sponsor this. And then also the old school things for NIL. Y'all are a Jordan school.
We are.
Make a Jordan package. That age group wants Jordans. You're going to get the chance to win 5 different pairs of Jordans. And guess what? The school got it. The basketball team got it. Somebody taking out their allotment. It's not hard. And all you have to do is donate $50 and we're going to do a raffle at the end of the year. You see how simple, and all the money goes to NIL and goes to the boys basketball team. There's a company I work with called University Sports Art. And what they do is they make sports art. The head photographer there is one of the head photographers for the NFL. But what's so interesting about them is they can make, you went up and you dunked last night and it was a great dunk. You had a great assist. You had something on the court that a picture was captured of. They can turn that picture into a poster, a portrait, put it on a t-shirt.
Wow.
Make a statue out of it. So you see what I'm saying? So now it's you did something great. You're with a company that then can turnkey around. And since you have, like you guys said, all the things that you listed on ways you can donate, this is now another way to donate directly to the kids, and how the kids are, becoming entrepreneurs and business owners is it's basically a referral code. Oh, you want a t-shirt? You want me to autograph a picture of a great play that I had yesterday? go to my website, sign up, you pay University Sports Arts, they mail it to you, it's done. The kid gets a portion of the proceeds. The team gets a portion of the proceeds. And now our NIL pot is totally growing because you can now then say to fellow recruits and other people coming, we are doing businesses. And here's a great example of, if you want it, you're going to go get it. I.e., you're going to post about it, you're going to talk about it, you're going to make sure folks know that you are in conjunction with this business and you're selling a product.
Okay, Miss Ivory, you got me. My head is about to explode over here.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to keep it all on the inside, but I got like a 6 degrees of separation, conflict of interest, and it's a poor frog that don't praise his own pond type of question and statement. Okay. So the first shameless plug thing is you work for Southern, if I heard that right.
I did used to work for Southern, yes. So that was my HBCU of choice.
Okay. And so, I thought about, Chip and I, maybe Chip and Be Smooth have talked about this, about trying to get Avery Johnson on the show.
Yes.
Right. And so I was trying to think of what would be sort of since he didn't go to Howard, obviously he didn't coach at Howard, Louisiana, blah, 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 all of those things. Right. But I already, to me, just asking you the questions about Dion, even though it's the SWAT, and you were able to expound on that. I was hoping you were saying you still work there, and then I could sort of work this little angle some more. But
that's still it's still an angle. It is still an angle. The same way a business would reach out to an athlete to do NIL is the same way. And guess what? The perfect NIL deals are authentic deals. Let's go back to Invisalign. A kid with great teeth doesn't need Invisalign, so that wouldn't be a good person. A kid with jacked up teeth that we know we can take these trays and go from month 1 all the way through the season. Okay. And we're going to see a great difference. That's a great connection right there. Avery is a lover of basketball. He is a lover of Black people. He is a lover of seeing us get ahead. So you reaching out to him on, we have a show and explaining it is the same way that you would reach out to anybody else that you look, the same way that, if I'm not mistaken, Chip, you got to me because you asked your network who knew someone that knew NIL, and they was like, "Oh, Ivory is your person."
Right.
Boom.
Right.
So that's it.
I'm just gonna replay this when they're giving me all the cons on why he shouldn't be on the show.
No.
That was well played. That was well played, Ewash. I like the way you brought our dirty laundry out on the camera now. So,
and guess what? Here's how you do it. When Chip goes to edit this video and does all the things, you take this clip of us talking about him and us praising him for the great job that he's doing. You post it, you tag him, and in your commentary, Avery, would you like to come on the show? Easy work.
Strange. Thank you. Okay, so the second one is, so I have a son who he's on the coaching staff at Tuskegee. He's a sophomore.
Yes.
He's on the football coaching staff.
Yes.
That's why I kind of keep saying to myself, man, you're not in the 20 to 40 or whatever, but you could really be working this thing while you're at this nascent point in your career, right? So, in addition to helping them break down film and blah, 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 you should be trying to figure out ways to connect them to your network of athletes and your such and such and so and so, correct? So again, this is just a shameless way for me to talk to my children because I know they're not going to listen to me.
No. So, is your son a sophomore in college at Tuskegee?
Yes.
So guess what? He should be making videos and discussing the process of how and why you break down film, what you're looking for, how it works, what it does. The NIL piece right here, the things that I tell athletes, and we'll stay in basketball, the thing I tell athletes, very simple, the easiest way to get your money from NIL is coaching, clinics, and camps.
Wow.
At this point, if you are a point guard and you are leading the MEAC and assists, a parent will pay you to coach their kid on how to
spend some of that money.
a better ball handler to be able to give more assists. You may not be the best shooter, but what you can do in assist, and that's coaching right there. Putting on clinics to get little kids to understand the fundamentals and the metrics of dribbling and how you open a seat and how your IQ, all the vision that comes with being the floor general, because that's what you do. And then the last part about it is, like I said, a clinic. Putting on a specialized clinic on, like Steph Curry. If he was putting on a clinic, it would be how to shoot a three-pointer. And kids would go because we know that's what you do. So you need to figure out what you specialize in, i.e. I'm breaking down film and explaining to someone how that works and what that looks like.
Right. And so Quincy Avery, we're going to shout out Quincy Avery, Morehouse grad, QB whisperer, is a living example of that, I would think, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But do it this way. Who on your men's basketball team? Because I know how many guys left.
Oh man,
everybody.
I know.
Everybody. Yeah. Except Bryce came back though. Bryce Harris came back.
Okay. So have we gotten a chance yet to look at what the rest of the team, the new members of the team, looks like?
Yeah. We've got a few on the show already.
Boom. So now we've had a few on the show already. So now we are giving them we are teaching them the Howard way.
Yeah. Yes.
And teaching them the Howard way, that's how you do NIL. Let me tell you one thing that a lot of kids overlook that they shouldn't. You know how when you're at the game, you got that old couple that's always at the game, they brought their chairs, they got their seats, they are your boosters for sure. After the game, are you coming back out talking to your fans, especially the older ones who you know have season tickets, who have money, because that is where you're getting your NIL deals from.
Right.
But you want to throw your stuff on and leave the locker room and go out with your homies and go eat that little nasty ass pizza that they're giving you because that's what your that's what your meal is, instead of actually engaging with the fans, because you got to start at home. Right. And your home is who is supporting you. What do they do? What businesses do they run? What can you have an engaging conversation with? Oh, Mr. Scott owns an insurance company. You know what? Mr. Scott could give you insurance for a year, and all you have to do is post about Mr. Scott giving you insurance for a year, doing a meet and greet at Mr. Scott's insurance spot. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's what NIL is.
All right. So my last shameless plug.
Yes.
And pond praise here.
I don't think it's the last. I don't think it's the last one though.
No. Okay. I ain't got no more kids. I'm not ODB.
I walked into that one. That's me. I walked into that one.
Okay. So my youngest child is actual. Well, I'll say it. He's a budding D1 prospect in football.
Great.
Right? So this summer he went to Tuskegee's camp, he went to Alabama State's camp, and of course he went to Howard's camp. Right. And he loves Howard. You know, I'm not messing him up by saying that he really wants to go to Howard. Right.
Yes.
And so we got to interact with the coach.
Yes.
And B, you'll love this shameless plug, because I took Chip's advice and I was spreading the Bison Brothers love everywhere I went.
Yes.
What happened? And they know this already. Bryce walked into the building.
Bryce Harris, shout out.
With him. We got a little shout out, blah, blah, blah. And then we also I got to talk to the head coach.
Yes.
He actually gave me his personal number, or at least it seemed like it was his personal number. I said, hey man, we got a show, yada, yada, yada. And even though you're not a basketball coach, man, we got people on here talking about NIL, bang, here you are, yada, yada. You should, he said, oh, I would love to do it. Boom, boom, boom. Nothing.
Guess what?
What would you say the best way to keep trying to engage him? From the student's perspective and from our perspective.
Did Bryce document all of these? Does Bryce have an Instagram and a TikTok?
He does.
He definitely got Instagram.
He does.
Okay.
Both.
Did he document all of these camps and all of these visits?
Okay. Yes. Yeah. We did.
Did you post them?
No. Okay.
You want to engage. The coach needs something back. And you know when the kids pop up and they decide that they're going to go to school and they go visit and they put their uniform on and the school that laid out the red carpet for that's advertisement for the school.
It is.
The school sees that, they recognize that, and they're like, oh. So when you're there and you're visiting, how you engage the coach is you do your part. And your part, y'all are doing your part here, but your other part is making sure it's documented from a kid's view of this is what could happen. This is what an inside look looks like when I went to camp. The biggest thing in NIL that kids focus on, number one, they don't post enough. Kids that want to do NIL and don't like posting, it's not for them. NIL is not for everybody. You need to be posting 2 to 3 times a week. And you need, and of those 2 to 3 times, and let's go with 3, only one of them need to be sport specific. So we need to talk about the things that we like, where we went to. Let's say you go, for me, if I was a kid, I would talk about Peloton. It's right there. I ride it every day. So guess what? I would, on my bike, I do my best thinking on my bike. Let me tell you about this brand new NIL idea I thought of while I was riding on my Peloton. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So now we're talking about that. Folks know, she's on this bike. She's going to give us tips and ideas. The SWAC MEAC Challenge for football is in Atlanta next weekend.
It is.
Southern is playing Central. Okay. What's one of the first things, you guys all told me when we got on that y'all was going to go to Tennessee State because they came and shamed y'all when they came.
Easy. Fake news. Fake news.
Fake news.
They came and
I don't know. They came in and they had a good time. That's right.
But we can agree that a lot of them showed up to your homecoming, correct?
A lot of them had neglected going to HBCU homecomings until we came to Howard. Yes, right.
And that's fine because that's what the Mecca, that's kind of how they draw y'all. That's what y'all do. You draw it in. So when you go to Tennessee State, if you know someone that lives there or goes there, what's one of the first questions that you ask someone when you're visiting a new city? Don't think up here. Think down.
Get some food. Like, where's the best food?
Boom.
Yeah,
that is Chip. Where's food? So if I was somebody on Southern's team and y'all take this with you and run with it, I'm reaching out to a local Atlanta restaurant and I'm talking about how I can't wait till I come to Atlanta and I can go to, and let's use an example, Slutty Vegan. I'm a vegan. I love her food. I haven't tried it yet, but all summer long, I'm talking about how I'm a vegan, how I can't wait to go try her food. And then I'm going to reach out to her and her social media team and say, hey, in exchange for, remember the magic number is only $100, in exchange for $100 Howard money or $100 in a food gift card, I want to post about how I'm going to try your restaurant when I get there. I want to tell my alumni to go there. I want to tell my friends and family to go there. When everybody's in town for Atlanta, if you're a vegan, this is the spot. Do you see how simple that is?
I do.
Don't wait just for homecoming. Think of rival games. Think of there's so many classic games.
Right. That's right.
Think of how and where you're traveling and how you can build your business. If you love to eat, then this is perfect. You get what I'm saying? And that's simple. That's simple. Something else you could do. Oh, we're in town. I got with the local business. Chip is a lawyer. Guess what, Mr. Chip? Let's run a contest to see when we go to Tennessee State that we're going to give away 2 tickets to the game and hotel for 2 nights. I'm going to, now you got to get there on your own. Drive. Well, how far is the drive? I know folks drove it, so I know it ain't that far. But Chip looked like he got a little bit of money, so maybe he'll fly somebody. He got a little bit of money. So maybe he'll fly somebody there. But now I've got with Washington.
He black though, so looks can be deceiving.
Now I got with the
hot mess.
Everybody's going to the airport with their MARTA cards trying to get on the plane.
I got a local businessman and his law firm to sponsor a trip. So guess what? From now till homecoming, I'm going to be talking about how you can win this trip, how Washington Law is sponsoring this trip, and how every time I mention this trip, this is how you win. This is what you need to do. These are the rules. Other people are talking about it, tagging about. In order to qualify for the trip, not only do you have to follow me, but you have to follow Washington Law, and you have to do X, Y, Z. Follow Bison Brothers. You have, you know, just two. Something else simple. Make sure you show a ticket stub from another football game that you've already been to on Howard's campus. You see the little things? And 2 weeks, a month, homecoming, I want to say for them is October 18th.
It is.
September 31st, we're going to pick a winner because that gives you enough time to buy your tickets because Mr. Washington don't want to wait. So, but do you see what I'm saying? That's just a little NIL thing. What you sponsored was the trip, and we gave the athlete money for posting. But in the big picture, you already had money set aside for marketing budget anyway. So you didn't take any money out your pot of something else. And old school, since you guys are old, remember, not me, but you know when they used to put it on.
Now, since I'm old, I'm gonna go on and embrace that. Now, baby.
That's the best.
You got one more time.
Back in the day when you used to put your business on bus stops or flyers, spend the money on that type of advertising. This is the same type of advertising. You're just getting a student athlete to do it, and their reach is the reach that you want because you really want alumni to support the student athlete and your business. So why not give the money to them?
So let me say this to you. I'm sorry. Let me say this to you. Y'all seen them shirts that say, you know, I am my ancestors' wildest dream, or however they say it?
That's right.
I'm gonna give you your flowers, Miss Ivory, because the thing that I didn't say to you earlier was, you know, I used to, well, I don't want to get too personal, but I got a friend who trains a lot of athletes.
Yes.
And he's from Jackson, Mississippi.
Yes.
And he has, at one point, was training. If I give too many clues, it's gonna be a little too personal. But he was training a really highly recruited athlete.
Okay.
That family was from Louisiana.
Yes.
At the time, you know, I naively would say to them, "Hey, well, what about, you know, so and so going to Grambling or Southern?" And they were like, "Well, I can't say it's pre-Christian language on what they said back to me about, Doc, you out of your mind if you think."
And let me pause right there.
Hold on. Let me at least finish this part, right? And so none of them had the vision. You know, I used to say, well, you know, it really only would take one person.
It doesn't. That's not true.
Well, the Dion thing is what ended up sort of being a manifestation of at least my idea.
And I get it. But let's do this. And I say this all the time. And y'all got to remember where I went to school.
Yeah.
So it's a whole different, that's our nickname over there is the Shipyard. And we call ourselves that for a reason. Okay. Because in the last 5 months, we've won a championship in every sport except men's basketball. I'm sorry, the last 5 years, we've won a championship in every sport. Even we won. How does LSU win the hip hop dance competition?
How?
Because we're good. But that's another story.
Yeah.
Okay.
How? When I say this, and I say this with love, HBCUs, especially for football, for basketball, you can kind of get away with it because if you're good, you're good. We can get in, get out. You can do what you need to do, and we could get in, get out. But for football, HBCUs don't have enough money, and let's be real honest with this, enough money, enough support.
Right. Preach.
Enough, and here's where folks like, enough hoes.
Enough what?
You heard me.
Okay, I just want to make sure. see, it's a double standard. If I had said hoes, though, I had said hoes.
You just said it. You just said it, EY. She just said it.
Okay, and we'll do it. We'll start it over. So when you make the clip, we can make it all nice.
Yeah, we'll go ahead.
They don't have enough money.
Money.
They don't have enough supporters,
Support.
boosters.
Yep.
They don't have enough they don't have enough avid rabbit fans that want to support in any way they can.
Well done. Well done. I like take two. I like take two.
And they don't have, HBCUs don't have enough time. Because when you have a five-star take, the thing that Deion did that a lot of folks overlook, Deion brought his team with him.
That's right.
Yeah.
His marketing team, his promotional team, his team that does his off-field business, they all were in Jackson. You get what I'm saying?
Right. No, that's real.
And because of that, because when you got and his sons were there, so that's kind of different. But to get Travis to come there, Travis is coming there because Deion is the best, and folks can say it, we agree or not agree. Deion has been one of the best corner defensive back safeties that we've ever seen.
He the best.
All time. Yeah.
So if my son wants to learn to be the best at that position, him going to where Deion is easy. That's another reason why when you asked me earlier, thinking, does he stay? He stays, but he can't. And he can't stay because he has those two kids that are trying to get to the league. And we all know there will be people scouts. And we just saw it. We've seen it so quickly with Shador. But we all know that there will be people that if you stayed at Jackson State, you didn't even win every HBCU title you tried to get, but you didn't play talent. So we don't know if you can play as well as you really think you can play.
Right.
And so when folks say, I'm going to send my kid, you're not rev sharing. Do you know how much money QB1s are getting? Between $2 and $3 million a year.
A year.
And guess what? If I'm an agent negotiating that NIL that rev share contract, because remember, rev share and NIL, two different things. I'm negotiating that rev share and Mr. Washington, I never went to law school, but Jesus, I should have. I'm redlining because a lot of these rev share contracts, they're saying to the kids, you are locked in for 3 years. I'm not. Because guess what? Every year, the NCAA has said that we're going to go up in percentage or how much money you can pay the kids. So I want my money to go up every year.
Yeah.
So why am I locked in 2 or 3? You know, and the terms, Chip, that I'm trying to tell these kids, exclusivity, perpetuity, all of those things, you have to have somebody like Chip on your side, i.e. the Howard Law School, that can read these contracts to say you shouldn't be agreeing to this. And yes, schools are negotiating a little, but if you the man, they're going to give you what you want to get you there.
So I got another one for you then. Is that prime equity deal that Shador got, is that an outgrowth of NIL in your opinion?
Of course, because remember 3 things about NIL. NIL deals only last while you're in college. They then turn into official endorsement deals. Now, if you're smart, especially in football and basketball, basketball the most. I want to do an NIL deal with my company just for the regular season. Because when I make it to March Madness, I want to do another deal because that's more exposure, that's more branding, that's more marketing. So I need more money. So we just want a season deal. And then when I make it to the tournament, that's something else. But that can also bite you if you don't play it right. We'll take Cooper Flag. New Balance. Duke is a Nike school. Cooper Flag has always had a New Balance deal. It came out that he made $28 million, and folks were like, oh my God. Let's not, oh my God, this. They signed him in high school. That's number one. And then the they is the New Balance and Fanatics. That's where the $28 million came from. And I can't remember which one was 15 and which one was 13, but let's just take those 2 numbers. They were 5-year deals. Those numbers are not big numbers. And let's say New Balance was 15. 5 years, he's getting exactly what he's $3 million a year to be their number 1 athlete. That's right where he's supposed to sit. What they did wrong is they knew, they thought, they wished that he was going to win the tournament. They didn't put out anything for him throughout the whole tournament. The only post that they really put out was when he won Player of the Year. Guess what? I know he can't wear New Balance stuff because Duke is a Nike school. But guess what? When he's walking on campus to the cafeteria, I'm going to rent out a gym and have him shoot around. I'm going to show him going to the classroom, reading to some kids, passing out New Balance t-shirts. I'm going to make sure that we show him as a New Balance athlete and drop these spots all throughout the tournament. Because I'm sure you had something big for when he won, but when he didn't win, it fell flat.
Right.
Wow. That's big. I didn't think about that.
Exactly. But as we talked about earlier with Rutgers, Rutgers was an Adidas school because they're switching to Nike. The two best players, Ace and Harper.
Ace and Harper, yeah.
Yes. Because Rutgers wanted them so bad, they allowed them to wear Nike. And guess what? Now Rutgers is turning into a Nike school.
Dang.
Scarlet Knights. Shout out to Scarlet Knights.
So do you see how NIL works?
Oh my gosh. It's tremendous, man.
And let me ask you this, kind of going into the weeds, you know, the whole with the NIL, you know, the thing that has to, you know, approve all of the deals.
NIL Go.
Yeah, NIL Go. What are the pros and the cons of that? I feel like I've heard chatter, you know, on both sides.
The con to me is it's run by Deloitte. Have you gentlemen ever heard Deloitte doing anything in sports? Why are they the ones who get to approve if your deal is a fair value market? But as I tell schools all the time, right now is the gray area. If you gonna do it now. You ain't cheating. You
sound like LT. You ain't cheating. You ain't trying.
You ain't trying.
I'm going to say sports have always been black and white, but we all know it's gray.
Yeah.
You have to be comfortable living in the gray. The system is going, NIL Go is going to reject deals based off how many deals are in the system. It's brand new. So guess how many deals are in the system?
None.
Yeah.
So if you had a deal and you pushed it in so fast, you pushed it through and you did a couple of keywords of where the money's going to go, who's going to pay you, what you're going to do to get the money, it's going to pass. And so now the con is they're going to try to keep those million and here's going to be the biggest problem. Let's say in my rev share contract, you tell me you're going to give me $50,000 a semester to play basketball, so $100,000 for the year. And then I'm also going to give you an NIL deal that's worth another $50,000. But you can't say that because it hasn't been approved by NIL Go. So, but if you know what you're doing, and when I do this, that's the chaos. If you know what you're doing,
like that,
you can put it in. That's why Wash's boy was so mad earlier this year, Dion, when he said Texas Tech tried to outbid. Because what Texas Tech did was they front loaded. They knew this was coming. They had $30 million that they knew they needed to spend before July 1st. And they went out there and brought as many athletes as they could possibly buy before the new system kicked in to tell them they could do it or could not do it.
Wow.
So they just front loaded. And so now at this point, like I said, are you a school of business or a business of sport? And at this point, when you are a business of sport, you forecast, you look ahead, you try to figure out the gray area on what you can do and what you cannot do. You figure out the algorithm on NIL Go and what's the keywords and what's the triggers, i.e. Chip. What's that when you're skimming a contract? What's the first red flag you try to hide all those things. And now it works in your favor because what you guys are pushing is you guys are pushing the culture.
Yeah.
You guys are pushing the Mecca. You guys are pushing, these are the connections that you can make if you come to Howard. So if these are the connections that I can make if I come to Howard, then how come the alumni are not giving me NIL money based off connections?
Yeah, that's the part that you got to fall into place. And just for the record, I like the air quotes. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Mecca.
I mean,
So,
because y'all had a great tailgate, but I forgot y'all said y'all went to.
see.
Oh, the hate.
No.
But
It's
guess
not even
what?
hate. It's her. He's not understanding that we don't
Okay,
own
well,
all
let me
the
tell you what
land.
I do understand. You
What do you
took
do?
that away, but let me tell you how you can buy that back. And you buy that back because you go and you get that parking lot it was sitting in, and now you sell those spots to other people, and all that money goes to the Mecca and NIL. Now we've made money, we brought our tailgate back, and everybody is happy. But what do I know?
Hercules.
Don't encourage her. Don't do that.
Because guess what? Down at Death Valley,
Yeah. No, it's built for that.
You got the vision though, B. And where there is no vision, the people perish, baby.
built for that.
It's built for that. It's
And
built
guess
for that.
what? It's built in for that. It's like a season ticket. That tailgate spot is something that you want every year. And you're going to keep buying it, keep doing it. Same thing. And what's so interesting is what someone said to me when I was on Howard's campus last week was 10 years ago, because when y'all were in school, they didn't have that tailgate spot, right?
We didn't. We did not.
Right. So there are people who never seen it and are like, oh, well. And then there are people who seen it and was like, that was great.
Yeah.
So now how do we meet in the middle? And a birdie told me the reason why I got taken away is because somebody on your campus tried to monetize it and monetized it the wrong way.
Preach.
They did.
So
that's that building fund you was talking about earlier.
right there.
Air conditioning.
Right there. So how do we now monetize this or do something else in a similar space the same way and do it for the Mecca? Literally the collective. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, this is
And
tremendous. Yeah.
Come on, preach. Girl.
Another kind of technical in the weeds question. I think Eric asked this. We had someone on a few weeks ago, but the executive order that the administration, I don't know if they signed it.
Remember, executive order is not law, so it means nothing.
Go ahead.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not going to pass. It's not going to pass.
Strong J, girl.
There are certain members of Congress who believe athletes should be paid, and there should not be a cap on this, especially our Black athletes, because we're the one who's supporting the sports. And if you're telling me that I have to get it how I live, and this is going to be the place, then just pay these kids because you're making billions. Like the thing that 2 years ago when UCLA moved to Big Ten, they were like, oh, this travel is so, we just couldn't do it. I can't believe they let us do this. You ain't say nothing on that $30 billion y'all gonna make off that this Big Ten TV contract.
Yeah.
That when that 30 million billion
and the Big Ten just won the championship twice.
So when that 30 million you get your piece, it ain't gonna be Lord. We had to go all the way over to Rutgers to do nothing then.
This is all true. It's all true.
And so that's the thing. For you guys, you have to, like we said, tap into the young fans. You have to tap into the young Greek systems. You have to tap into, and you have to do it early. Early. Because the earlier you do it, the earlier it's ingrained. Like you guys feel about being on that campus. That is what you have that nobody else has.
Wow. This is tremendous. I love this.
I want to shout out my Bison Brothers too, man, because I have just benefited from the largesse of their network, of their enthusiasm, of their ingenuity. I would have never got the chance to talk to somebody like you, and I'm just loving every minute of it. So strong shade, Chip. Strong shade food.
Does everyone live in DC?
No.
We're both in Atlanta. So Eric, Ewash, and Chip, we're both in Atlanta, and Brian is
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Let me tell you something that could happen, and I would do this for you guys. Before a big basketball game, what you should have is a business mixer. And what the business mixer does is you invite local and regional businesses, or in your case, alumni that have business, to come to a game. And ahead of the game, you get someone like me to come in and have this conversation face to face and say, this is what NIL is. This is how you can use NIL to support the kids. And this is what you need to do if you want to get in business with the business of NIL.
So what city would you rather do it in? Atlanta, Charlotte?
No, it's DC.
And guess what?
You live in DC.
No, I live in Atlanta with you. So if you guys have enough businesses and enough alumni here to do that conversation, that's easy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do it at an art gallery.
Very, very much so. You know how y'all act.
Yes.
That was a nice dig there.
Was it?
Dig. That was a nice dig.
Now,
I like that.
One quick note, just so my law professors won't kill me. So an executive order does have, it like you said, Congress can strike it down, but it does have a little bit of force if he puts it in place. So,
but the difference, what you asked me, I said executive order is not law, so technically you don't have to follow it. It's a suggestion. It's what he would like to happen, and until it goes through the proper steps of crossing, it's just. And guess what, Donald Trump? That little press conference that you had with all them people that was standing around, I was like, yeah, we know. You don't even know what's going on, sir. Yeah. Don't impose this. Don't do this. Something else that I really want your folks to listen to this understand. Something else that happened when the House versus settlement that came is they're going to back pay athletes all the way from 2016.
Oh,
wow.
So if you played in 2016 up until 2021, they're actually back paying you. So you need to go and make sure you have looked and signed all the paperwork. Start at the Collegiate Sports Commission. That's the new thing of all of this, and figure out if you played Bison ball from then to then, they're paying these athletes back. So folks need to stay on top of those kinds of things as well. Like that's the goodness of NIL. They're trying. Of course, they'll never do it the right way. It'll never be enough money, but at least they're trying. And like I said, if you are an athlete who wants to participate, it's like going to practice. You got to prepare and get yourself ready to participate and get ready to do this.
Love that.
Man.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Bison Nation, you see why we had Ivory Tabb to come on the show like this.
Absolutely.
I feel like I got a certificate. I think I got a couple of credits just listening and learning from what she said, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, dropping gems. Dropping gems all night.
And it's so funny, Be Smooth. You call them dropping gems. I call them, because guess what? I teach branding and marketing. I call them tips by Tabb.
Tips by Tabb.
You see
Tips
what
by
I'm saying?
Tabb.
That's the part that you're trying to teach kids. You know, if you say, hey, what's the first thing you're doing for NIL? Like I said, make sure your bio has all the things that are necessary for someone to contact you. That's number one.
Yeah, number one.
Number two, if you're on Instagram and you don't use TikTok or you don't use Twitter, still go get those things and keep them, because you don't want to have to pay somebody to get your name back if you didn't go secure your accounts.
They got to do it.
Yeah, I got a swimmer right now who somebody wants to.
Oh no.
Yeah, hey, this way. I told you forever. Go get your name. Go get your name.
Get your name.
Get your name. Okay. And then number 3, post. Hire a mini-me on campus who wants to do social media. There is a girl on campus who's making fire TikToks. Go talk to her.
Go talk to her.
Because she can make TikToks for you. Because that's one thing on the brand side that I have to say when I'm talking to brands about dealing with athletes, especially in this space. Athletes are not content creators. They're just athletes who have an audience and now they make content. So if you're looking for a polished, well put together video, then you need to pay an athlete for the content. Then you need to pay a tech person or a social media person to edit and make that content. But what you want from athletes is them doing that, because that's the authentic piece that you're paying for. Now, if you hit gold and you find an athlete who not only can make good content, but has got some little editing skills or has somebody that's doing it, then you hit gold. But an athlete is not that. They are still students. They are on campus. They are doing things. Make sure it's as simple and easy, as short as possible. And pay these kids. Because that's another thing that we don't have time to talk about. But that was a big thing back last year and the year before about the collectives agreeing, getting these kids to come to school, and the collectives not having the money and the kids not being paid. All money is not good money. I mean, and these are our lessons. You know, are you recruitable? Furthermore, is your family recruitable?
Wow.
Because in the basketball space now, coaches are not, unless you're Mr. Georgia, Mr. New Jersey, if you're the number one kid in the class, yes, you're going to a 4-year right now. But if you're not, the order of operations now is transfer portal first, JUCO second, because we changed the JUCO rule,
Right,
and high school third. I would rather give a 22-year-old $50,000 that I know is going to come to class. I don't have to make sure he's signing on to do online. I don't have to teach him all of those things that I would have to teach a freshman and spend, guess what, the time that I said HBCUs don't have for that 5. That's what it looks like.
Wow.
So are you, is this something, does your page look welcoming? Is there explicit lyrics on your videos? Are you doing things and hanging out with people that you shouldn't be? Is your page pleasing to the eye? If you have good grades, is that in your bio? These are intangibles that make NIL so easy to do.
This is amazing.
And now, hey, guess what? If I did an NIL deal with, if I did an NIL deal with, let's say, a P&G company, CoverGirl, all of a big company, am I smart enough to write in my contract after this is done? I would love to talk about having an internship. See how we just segued that into
your next career opportunity.
Exactly.
I like
But
that.
there are so many jobs that once you do NIL and you do it consistently for a year or two, you can be an account manager. You can be a social media manager. You can be in business management. You can be in an account coordinator. You can do marketing. You can do branding. There are so many transferable skills that doing NIL helps you with. And the biggest thing is, are you doing it? Are you putting these pieces together? So that is the biggest takeaway that I could give to NIL. And then the businesses that you guys are giving money, that's the dots and how it connects.
This is fantastic. This is absolutely fantastic. And Chip, I apologize to you, man. I didn't think this was going to be a good interview. I didn't know.
Oh, is he serious?
It started off kind of rough too. She came in with guns blazing, talking about Tennessee State like she didn't have any home training. I was like, who put this on? Who invited her? Who invited her to the show? But I promise you, I'm a man. I can admit when I'm wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong.
That was because you wanted to censor me. God said, "Well, I'm gonna just move that energy over here till he get his mic together."
I wish it was that. I wish it was that biblical. Ewash. It was literally.
That is the weirdest beef that's in this HBCU streets right now. That is the weirdest.
It's the weirdest beef. It just came out of nowhere. I'm like, who has time for this, right? But in all seriousness, this was tremendous because, as we told you, this is our way of giving back to Howard, to the basketball team in particular, and by connecting people like you that are gifted in this space, it allows us to honor what we committed to, which is how do we make sure the school, the kids, the families, everybody understands the part we play in really making sure Howard stays competitive. Because right now, we just want to have a competitive set of programs that we can cheer for every year.
And y'all have the ear of the coach. You can definitely say to the coach, "Hey, we know she's going to be on campus for Battle of the Bur that first weekend.
That's right.
I'll carve out some time so she can come give this lesson to the basketball team."
That's right. That's right.
That's going to be right in front of when your season starts. That's
right,
going
Coach.
to be,
we need I'll look at and put his name in it, right?
Yeah.
Coach Blakeney. Kenny Poo Blakeney.
Poopy.
Yeah, he's poo-poo until he gets on the show. Until he comes on the show, he's poo-poo. He's poo-poo.
And he's
Kenny poo-poo.
When we're standing in front of them because you guys made it happen, I'll be like, and the Bison Brothers got me here.
That's right.
It's all should. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yes.
I'm loving every minute of it.
Awesome.
God is good.
Well, Ivory, man,
yeah,
we really appreciate you coming today, sharing. I mean, there's so much. You're probably gonna be changing lives as people watch this video. So we really appreciate you, and hope that you can come back. There's some big things going on in that NIL space, and like Bison Nation, you see why we brought Ivory Tabb to the show. So. Tag her.
We're gonna make that mixer happen in Atlanta too.
That's right. Comment to her.
I already got the venue. Yeah.
Exactly.
Guess what I'm getting? I'm getting Invisalign.
Hey.
Yeah, no doubt you are. No doubt you are.
That's right. I can't wait for all the sponsorship dollars to come in from Washington Dental.
Oh my God, yes. You are absolutely getting that. No doubt about it.
Outstanding.
Well, like I know we could talk all night, but like I said, we want to respect everybody's time. Like I said, Ivory, so glad that we connected. Shout out to Reggie Huff, that's my frat brother, Mecca Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, talk chapter.
He's cool.
And yeah. So he's the one to put us together. So big shout out there.
Shout out to the D9 family.
There it is.
Got that Invisalign too. And Invisalign, if you listen, y'all do all that stuff with the NFL. You need to get with the Bison Brothers.
Yes. Yeah.
Boom.
I can help you inquire about that partnership and put something together.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And Ivory, before we close out the show, I have a recent Howard grad that's trying to break into the sports business that I'd love to get some time with you as maybe a favor to gear her towards. You talked about being broke for a while, and I'm trying to get my head around that.
Oh yeah.
But like I said, we can figure that out.
And it's still so much volunteering. But when you volunteer, you never know who you're in the room with.
Exactly.
And you're learning sports. So now when it's building your resume, all those dots connect. It's the same way. And what I would say to you and to her is, guess what? First step, follow me on LinkedIn, have her send me a DM, a message. So now I look at what her approach is, because that's part of it. That's when I come in and I teach the kids NIL. Oh, you're DMing businesses? Are you saying the right thing? Are you doing the right thing? Chat GPT, whether we like it or not, is your friend.
Okay.
That's right. And just how'd you call it? Shameless plug, Ewash. My daughter Ashley Foston worked with the basketball team, men's basketball team, 4 years, and she actually She actually got the first NIL deal for Howard basketball.
And guess what? Now we need to move those transferable skills over to, if she hasn't gotten an internship with another basketball team, but working in basketball, to say, baby, that's an easy one.
That's right.
We're gonna link it up. This is how it works. This is
For
power.
those of you that watch The Wire, her name is her name.
Man, you're old, dude. You're old, man.
That's all right. That's all right.
Her name is her name.
Yes, I love that. I love it. But we'll link you up after the show here. But yeah, Chip, this was fantastic, bro. Thanks for reaching into your illustrious brotherhood of Omega Sci-Fi to make this connection. Nothing but love for the other 1911 brothers on the show.
Indeed, indeed. So Bison Nation, tell everybody about this show. Make sure everybody understands everything they need to know from NIL. Have Ivory come to your location so she could teach you even more. Because we don't want to take up all the time here. So we just thank Ivory for coming on the show. Bison Nation, continue to support the teams, continue to donate to the Mecca Society, to the collective, to Fan Stake, to the administration, all of that, and continue to tell everybody about this show. You can hear us on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple, and interact with us on Instagram at Bison Brothers Basketball. And so, Ivory, we're going to close out this show. If you've seen it, we're going to give our magical HU call as we do it. You're welcome, since you've been on campus, to join in. And we're going to end this show like we end all of our shows. HU!
You know.